Okay, so I just wanted to record a very quick help video for the final on some specifics about what I'm looking for. So number one, on the parts list, you need to make sure that you have the item, quantity, part number, volume, and mass. So I just wanted to go over very quickly how to do these. First thing, make sure that for all of your drawing files, you go to edit sheet and change the size to size A. If your size is not size A, you're going to lose a ton of points because I won't be able to read. So anyway, this obviously isn't the snowman, but this is just two different parts that I have, and I'm going to create a parts list for this. So I can come up here to annotate, and then I click right over here on parts list, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on the object right there, and click OK, and click OK again, and just kind of put this in the upper right hand corner. So this will create our parts list. Now we're going to need to modify this parts list to include a few things. We're going to want to include the item, quantity, part number, volume, and mass. Really important that you include these things on here. So if I hover over this, I can right click on this, and then I can go down here to edit parts list. Okay, and then on here I can click on table, whoops, not table layout, I apologize. I want to click on, I'm going to click on column chooser. Okay, go ahead and remove the description. So again, we want to have, and this goes, let me pull up the final, we want to go item, and we want it in this that order too. So item, quantity, part number, which we have those three. And then we need to add in here volume and mass. So in this list, I'm going to find volume, add, and then I'm going to find mass in here. Click on that, click add, click OK, and click apply and click OK. And then that'll go ahead and add these things in here to make sure that we can see those. The next thing that I want to go over is how to add your name. So if you notice on all of these drawing files, student name, student name, student name, I want you to make sure that you include your name on the drawing files. So if we click on text right up here, and I just click and click, I can type in Mr. Reichelt. Now this is going to be really small, so what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to increase the size of this. Now the max size in here that you can select is 0.24, but you can go ahead and take this and type in like, I don't know, 0.5. We can make this as big as we want. So I'll do like 0.5, but like the bigger this number, obviously the bigger your thing is going to be. And then I'll just go ahead and click OK. So you want to make sure that you click on text. This is under the annotate tab. We want to make sure that we add in our name to all of the drawing files. And the last thing that I want to mention, and this is really important when calculating the mass of the object, is we need to make sure that the material is changed to wood birch. So you'll notice I'm going to come over to one of my parts. Obviously this isn't one of the snowman parts, but in terms of changing the material, it's the same. So you can either come up here and we can change the material right here, wood birch. Okay, or you could go to File, iProperties, go to Physical, and you can change the material right there. Okay, but make sure that we change, and then I'm going to go File, Save. Make sure that you change the material for your parts. Again, by popping up here, find the wood birch. Otherwise, your numbers are not going to be the same. By numbers, I mean on this, the mass isn't going to be correct. Okay, so that's it. Just make sure when you are creating this final that you have your name on the parts list, item, quantity, part number, volume, mass. Make sure that you include your name on all this. And then we want to have the assembly done, and then an exploded view of the assembly. And then we want to have, obviously, the part for each one of the snowmen right here. Make sure that when you're dimensioning, your dimensioning should be pretty much identical to this. So for this, they didn't use a baseline dimensioning, which is totally fine because this is just finding the radius of 3 circles. So you can use please try to use actually this dimensioning right here. Make sure to dimension all these things. Same thing with the base right down here. Now the base did use the baseline dimensioning. So the base, we do have the line right there, and then everything goes out. So with the base, make sure that you use baseline dimensioning. With these other parts, with the snowmen, you can go ahead and you can just use like chain dimensioning, which is totally fine. Okay, so hopefully this helps. Again, hopefully I made this clear, but make sure that your dimensions look pretty much identical to this drawing sheet. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully this helps.